I'm joined by head coach Jeff Bowers from Virginia Wesleyan University women's soccer. They were picked number 1 in the ODAC women's soccer preseason poll entering the 2022 season. Coach, how are you doing today?
We're actually just wrapping up our preseason, and our classes have started. So just starting phase 2 in prep for our first game coming up.
Yeah, you kind of segue there, and the first change we're doing with these preseason interviews this year is a little bit later in camp. This won't release with the preseason poll, will come a few days after that. So maybe a little different perspective that you have on your own team and kind of thinking about gearing up for the start of the season. So let's start, though, by turning the clock back even a little bit further. Last season, you pick up an ODAC title. We've talked, before hopping on this call, that 5 of the 7 games in the ODAC tournament were 1-goal games, including 4 of them that were 1-0 games. You were involved in, I think, 2 of those with the quarterfinal game against Roanoke and the championship against Lynchburg. Talk to me a little bit about last season's experience and how you think that's going to help this season's team come in, especially knowing the returning talent that you have as well.
Sure. No, I think last year, obviously very early in the year, we're trying to figure ourselves out. I think much like almost everyone in the country was trying to figure it out. And, I think we had the opportunity to just continue to grow, develop, kind of figure out our system and style throughout the year. And, and I think our players just obviously had a great culture and chemistry and, worked throughout the year. And I think it paid off, obviously in the end. But all really, really tough games in conference for sure. Roanoke was 1-0, Washington Lee was 1-0 in the semis, and then Lynchburg 1-0 in the finals. And so certainly just feel like, that experience, along with playing in the NCAA tournament versus Messiah was really beneficial for us in terms of just the team growth and just watching them throughout the year. And then obviously in the spring, just to see, we thought we had a really good spring overall, and the players definitely got improved and got better and really worked hard in the off season. So that was really fun to see for us.
You touched on that piece about Messiah and the NCAA tournament. I think that was one of those when we saw the draw come out that we're like, man, that could be a little bit of a rough draw. But then you went up there and you gave them a game. You got a team that's won national titles coming from Messiah, and you took them to overtime, going through that contest. Talk a little bit about that experience that you thought they may have had, that just going into that and proving not only to everybody else that's around you, but proving to themselves that they can go and play with a program that's won some national championships.
No, certainly. I think, obviously on a sidebar, their coach and I are best friends. We probably talk every week or every other week. So, even throughout the season. So I kind of knew what was going on with them, and they knew a lot about what was going on with us, which was great. But great game, certainly. I think our players, at that point, definitely played with some heart and some passion against a team that, could have went deep into the NCAA tournament as well last year. I think they're really talented. And so, I think, again, just a great experience for our players. That we want to play against, the best. I think that's the only way that you get better. You have to get exposed. You've got to see what you need to work on. And, obviously we ran on a really good team versus Messiah, but an exciting game for sure.
Well, we take a look at this year coming in now. You've had a chance to see your squad in camp. You returned 4 of the 7 all-conference players you had last year. That includes Sam Crawford, who was the ODAC Player of the Year. And let's kind of target on her a little, because, from my experience way back in the day, 20 years ago, I played down the spine of the field as well. And just having somebody like that as your talisman in the middle of your defense to set the tone. Talk a little bit about her a little bit.
No, Sam's obviously special. She's our captain. And just her ability to obviously read the game, also the ability to just track is just, I think, really, really unique for a kid who's obviously got good size, and she's like 5'8", 5'9". Just, I think she runs like a deer, man. She's really special. But more importantly, she's just even a better human being. And as a captain and a leader, I think it's really, really important to have the right people leading your program. And so, the off the field things that she does are just as important for us as what she does on the field.
8 wins in ODAC play last year, I think 13 overall. You've got that talent that's returning this year. Talk about the makeup of your squad that makes you think that they're at least that good, maybe if not a little bit better this year coming in.
Certainly. I mean, I think we're a little bit more mature for sure as a group. I think, yeah, I mean, we were relying, we had, I want to say maybe 25, last year was 25 freshmen or sophomores. So it's a much more mature group and understanding what we're asking for, what we're looking for out of them. And I do think they had a chance to really embrace that. And so coming in, it's been great. We're learning and getting better, and have gotten better, obviously, just because they're a year older, for sure. You know, they've grown. So that's fun to see.
Got some new things coming in the league this year as we kind of look at to wrap some things up here, but a couple new coaches, a new program. Let's start there. We've got Averett coming in, bringing women's soccer back at the ODAC to 14 teams. Talk a little bit about what you expect from Averett, what they bring to the table. Is just we're inside of 10 years that they were still an NCAA qualifying team, but maybe not quite there right now, but the potential's there.
Certainly. I mean, I think obviously Averett coming in just adds another dynamic into the conference, which, I think is just special. I mean, I think, there's 8 teams capable of winning the conference, that I can think of right on top of my head, and teams that are just getting better, right? Like, I mean, there's just game in and game out. I think it just can be, I just think it's going to be a really competitive year. I think that everyone's gotten better. We have new coaches that'll be excited and ready to go to prove themselves for sure. And I think, yeah, I mean, it's unpredictable. Maybe that's the best way to put it. Certainly everyone, I think, has probably gotten better and grown. And I think, I think overall each game will be really competitive, within the ODAC for sure.
Yeah, you touched on the new coaches. We do have a couple of them this year, a couple second-year head coaches going through that they had to kind of come out of the COVID experience and have their first season in a little bit something different. What do you see from, say some of the more seasoned coaches that we have in the league, like yourself, Todd Olson, Liz Pike, Phil Benny, and Mike Van Horn at Bridgewater, to some of the younger coaches that, we've got a Tiffany Pins coming in at Washington and Lee, and Sarah Kat Van Orden at Hollins, new coach at Sweetbriar. What do you see as the difference, and do you see them up and coming and getting to the point where some of you have gotten to where you've won so many games in your career?
No, I mean, I think it just adds to the competitiveness for sure. I mean, obviously, Tiff's coming from a great program and has had, tremendous success for sure. So, I mean, I think all of the coaches in the conference. I mean, Justin down at Averett has done a tremendous. At Guilford has done a tremendous job. I think. I mean, they had a great year last year, honestly, and he came in real late, and I think they were spectacular last year and were a difficult team to play against. And so I just think the quality of coaching just generally across the board is just getting better. I think just a better understanding amongst the players and the talent level just makes every game so competitive. And I think the coaches in our league are really good. I mean, I think we're really, obviously it makes it really competitive for fans to watch and fun to watch, but I mean, everyone is so talented. I mean, and everyone does it a little bit of a different way. And I think that's what makes it entertaining, and that's what makes it fun to watch. And honestly, that's the great thing about soccer. You can do it in so many different ways and so many different styles, to find that success. But I do think overall, from an ODAC conference coaching standpoint on the women's side, it's special. We got a great group.
Yeah, I think you're right. And we're going to see the fruits of all your labor start here. September 1 is when things kick off. Coach, we're looking forward to seeing not only the rest of the league play, but seeing your Marlins get out there on the field defending a title.
Thanks, JJ. Good to see you again. Absolutely. And just wish everyone the best of luck this year.